Welcome to this episode. We're going to talk about describing change and how you explain to customers what's changed between one version and another, or how you articulate a customer-specific change. Here we go. So the last area I want to cover on today is describing change. Now, a lot of people seem to forget the fact that actually you have two types of readers for API specifications. You've got the guys who are developing to you for the very first time, and they should be reading the entire document from start to finish, and understanding everything. And then you've got a second set of readers who are perhaps people who are evaluating what they need to do for an upgrade. Either they've decided to take more functionality or there's a release that they need to accommodate. And that's two different audiences. What we tend to find is that people typically cater for the second one, the upgrade users, through a simple change history log. And the change history logs don't tend to be particularly verbose in terms of exactly what's changed. And that's a problem. That's a problem because it essentially means that the developers need to go through it, developers or business analysts need to go through it line by line to work out exactly what's changed and what the impact on them is. Now, if you think about some of the software packages that people use to develop today, whenever they come out with a new version of the software package, normally there's quite an extensive upgrade guide. And as we are developing ourselves, we also use these upgrade guides quite exclusively or quite extensively to understand exactly what we need to change in our internal code to go through that upgrade. And I'd recommend you actually investigate doing something like that. It's kind of like a release note. So you might cover off the business level changes. Perhaps you've launched a new order type or a new algo or something like that, and you want to put some business descriptions around it to explain exactly what it is. But second of all, you also need to go through exactly what the technical change is. The more you can spell out what the delta is between the last version and this version, the easier it is for your customers or for their software vendors to actually understand what it is they need to make, the changes they need to make internally. And therefore, the more likely it is that they're actually going to go ahead and make those changes. By the way, I talked in a previous episode about the idea of customer-specific specs and contracts between users, and specification being a contract. This idea of describing change, this is where the idea of customer-specific specs really comes shining through. Because if that's the case, then you're able to go back to individual customers and give extremely tailored feedback to them about exactly what they need to change in order to move from one version to another version. And if you can go to some of your biggest and most important customers and say, we've got an upgrade, this is the only thing you need to do this one upgrade, and we know that because we understand exactly what our contract with you actually is, and we know exactly what the technical implication of this release is, and that's brilliant. That's an awesome level of customer service that very, very few firms achieve today. Okay, so now we know how to describe change. Join us in the next episode and I'll give you a little bit of homework on how to take the next first steps towards improved documentation.